Hey, there's two things I love about this. I'm reviewing Ghost Rider, which is actually a pretty fun and cool sort of side-scrolling interpretation of the comic book and movie. And it's a Game Boy Advance game, and there's getting to be a lot fewer Game Boy games, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's cool that I'm playing a GBA game. Ghost Rider actually succeeds quite well. The scrolling action is pretty derivative. We've played this kind of thing before, but the animations are strong. I really like the way they animate Ghost Rider with his fiery head and the way he uses his chains to take care of bad guys and bosses that are a lot larger. They're a little kind of polygonal, too, some of the boss characters, so that looks pretty sweet. They also have, it's not the best, but they also have a little riding from behind the bike perspective, so it's a pseudo 3D kind of deal. It's weird that none of the characters look like Nicolas Cage, though. It's just some other dude. But Ghost Rider's a cool character, solid Game Boy Advance action that you can play on your DS. I'm giving Ghost Rider an 8 out of 10. Hey, welcome back. We're talking about Blazing Angels Squadrons of World War II, this time for the PlayStation 3. Tommy and I already reviewed it on the Xbox 360 and was out on the PC as well. And it's been reworked very, very slightly for the PS3, and I think that's our top story here, isn't it? I mean, it's not enough.
You know, the Blazing Angels was a great game on the
very fun.
Not great game, but it was a very good game on the 360. But even on the 360, didn't show off the capability of what next gen could bring to the table.
Nope.
Now, when you see it on the PlayStation 3, and again, I've said this a million times, I'm going to keep continuing to say it.
Yeah.
If Sony's going to charge $600 for a machine,
the
better
evolutionary steps got to be there.
They better deliver.
Yeah. There are frame rate problems in this damn game.
Especially when it get close to explosions.
Yeah, or there's lots of planes, lots of traffic in the air at the same time. I mean, it gets a little bit choppy, and that's ridiculous,
now,
man.
That being said, it isn't a horrible game. It's still a fun game to play.
It's very fun.
I really like the way they've approached the controls from a number of different perspectives.
Yep.
First, the right analog stick controls your acceleration or speed, you know, and then this, the left stick controls kind of where you're at.
That's right.
But they also give you the option to use the 6-axis control. And this is really the first game, I think, that shows off the 6-axis control. And I gotta say, they did a pretty good job.
Well, the 6-axis is like built for flight games, let's face it. I mean, I think that's gonna be an easy thing for Warhawk and Lair. You know, people are gonna be gravitating towards that for this, and it's nice that they added it to this game. But I love the vistas. I love the way that the cities look, and you know, you fly all over the different sort of air combat battles in World War II. You're in North Africa, you're all over Europe, and everything looks really, really nice.
What I like about this game overall is the variety.
Yeah.
The variety, not only in the graphics and the environments, like you said, but also the variety, I thought, of the gameplay itself. You're not just doing bombing runs every time.
And there's also multiplayer, which is a major letdown when you're coming off of what the Xbox 360 version.
And I think the biggest reason for that is because they don't have voice support.
What the hell were they thinking?
Online.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, are you kidding me?
You can't chatter with the other people that are playing with you. That's ridiculous.
I mean, this is supposed to be next gen. Is this what I spent $600 for?
No. Now, they did change up some of the audio, some of the voiceover. I remember
there's a lot of voiceover.
There is a lot of voiceover in the game.
Lots of talking.
But they've added like a new bunch of cast members. I didn't really notice too much, but you know, and I was reading the notes on all this stuff, and they did add a voice for the pilot, which is new to the gameplay experience. So the character that you're playing actually has dialogue going through, where on the 360 he was silent. What are you going to give Blazing Angel Squadrons of World War II for the PlayStation 3?
I had fun with it. I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
On the positive side, there's a lot of variety in the environments and the gameplay. I like the unique way that it controls. And overall, it's just a simple game to get into and have some fun with.
On the negative side, they added more voiceover to a game that already had too much to begin with. The graphics aren't really improved at all, and there's even choppy frame rate issues. But our biggest complaint is the fact that there's no voice communications in online play. That is just unacceptable. All right, today in hardware, we're talking about Sony's BD remote control for Blu-ray disc, BD. It's a Blu-ray player, obviously, in the Sony PlayStation 3, and you can use your 6-axis controller to, you know, program your DVD and Blu-ray playback any way that you want. But some people get a little bit tired of having to access all those buttons and trying to figure out and basically decipher the controls on the PS3 controller to just press play and watch their movies. So Sony has a remote control for you that kind of simplifies everything. But one thing I was really disappointed not to see in this, and I'll talk about this right away, is the lack of a backlight at all. And that just drives me crazy in modern remote controls, because a lot of us have home theaters that are in the dark when we're watching films. It's just hard to find the remote controls if they don't have any kind of backlight or any kind of glow-in-the-dark kind of capability.
The thing is that it is an inexpensive price. You know,
I think
$25. 25 bucks, and we've seen a lot of these in the range of 40, 60, sometimes 80 and up for the universal remotes.
Yes.
And so,
which this one isn't, by the way. It will only work with the PlayStation 3. Now, Sony's, I don't know if this is calculated or what, but they didn't put any kind of infrared port on the PlayStation 3, so you can't use any other kind of remote control out there. You can't pick up like a universal one and learn the PS3. Are you going to recommend the PlayStation 3 BD remote control?
If you're in the market for this, well, you only have one choice.
Yeah.
So I got to say yes.
I'm recommending it as well. Hey, don't go away. It's a poker death match. Poker to the death. After the break, we're coming right back with Versus.